Today I'm going to tackle a big one: creation and the law of paradox. Hi, I'm Bo Sebastian. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and an author of Zeroing Out: The Secret to Peace and Personal Power. Let's get on with the lesson. I looked up every religion and each one has a version of creation. Even science has its version based on cause and effect. If everything began as a big bang, what was the cause or substance behind that phenomena? And how does humanity relate to that God or cause? This all relates to our discussion today. Let's get on with it. I'll use the Christian, Judaic, and Islamic scriptures to begin because this is what I understand most, but I believe these theories I'll share will work with Hinduism and Buddhism as well. God, or infinite spirit, the origin, the creative energy, the initial source, spoke or thought into existence something called earth, according to most scriptures. But even this is a paradox because we know that beyond Earth is a myriad of galaxies and heavens. So this was a specific instance, a creation story about man perhaps on Earth. When God created all living things, sky, water, earth, vegetation, then God created living things like fish, animals, birds, and commanded them to reproduce. That was day 5. On that same day, he made humans in the image of itself, reflecting its God nature onto humankind. He made them responsible to tend to the things created on the earth. Male and female created he them, just as he created all living things so that they would reproduce. And on the 7th day, it says God rested. In other words, involution was finished on the 6th day when God rested. Evolution began after God rested. What God created in mind and in density was finished. That's involution. And its creation began to evolve after that. I believe that when all of this was transpiring, however long it took doesn't matter, what was embedded in the earth and in humanity were 7 laws. These laws were perfect. They were inherent in everything to keep humanity and the earth in order. I liken this to going to school for the first day. You learn what's expected of you, what happens if you don't do what's expected, and you begin to understand the courses of which teach you the various things you need to know: science, history, language, math, the language of the universe, grammar, arts, and also gym, the science of the body and how to use it properly. To make these rules more specific, let's say that we have 7 laws that never change, and then other smaller laws that work within the large permanent laws that could change with different instances in life. These 7 laws are: 1, the law of mind. This is a mental universe. Everything happens in mind. It's from your perception that we're viewing the world. Number 2, the law of correspondence. What is in heaven is like unto the earth. We are living in a world of metaphor. 3, the law of vibration. All things vibrate, circulate, revolve. 4, similar to that law, the law of rhythm. When you swing a pendulum in one direction, with what measure it swings in that direction, it also swings in the other direction. 5, the law of polarity. Everything has its opposite, and between those opposites we have a variety of each of these poles. 6, the law of gender, that all things reproduce according to themselves, according to the seeds or according to the animal or fish. And 7, the last of these laws, the laws of cause and effect, that everything that is has its cause, and every cause produces an effect. What I'd like to address today is the one paradox that doesn't make sense in all of these laws and to most theologians. It's called the law of paradox, because it is indeed that, a complete paradox. The dictionary's definition of this is the spiritual law of paradox, often explored in various spiritual and religious contexts, suggests that seemingly contradictory truths can coexist and offer a more complete understanding of reality. It encourages embracing contradictions and seeing them as opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. I like that. Let's dive deeper. If God is perfect love, the beginning, the source, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, how is it that it created something that lives only to die on this earth? In chapter 2 of Genesis, we see a different version of the creation of man than in chapter 1, where God created the whole of humanity. In chapter 2, God makes a special man, it seems, Adam, out of the earth and puts him in a heavenly place. Is this the same place he calls earth? I'm not certain. He calls this place the Garden of Eden. And the word Eden in the Hebrew means delight and pleasure. In this garden there was a tree of life and a tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God speaks to Adam, this one human, and says, you can eat of all things, including the tree of life, apparently, but not of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God didn't want Adam to be alone, it says next, so he created all forms of animals and sea creatures, allowing Adam to name them all. This is the second time it seems he created this. Was he creating them in the Garden of Eden now? Was this a spiritual creation and then a physical creation? Paradox. This is where there's a strange blip or anomaly. The story regresses back to when there was no grass and no rain and no one to work in the earth and to fields. And it says that when God created Adam, and this same man made in the image of God, the Son of God, was to name all of the things created. Whatever Adam named something, so it was. Then an even larger paradox happens. God puts Adam to sleep, takes a rib from his side, and makes woman a helpmate, a partner, bone of his bone, to keep him company. This makes Adam happy. Finally, Adam says, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Name her woman, for she was made from man. This is what Adam supposedly says. So if Adam is speaking, we also find the first reference to verbal communication with God. At this point, they were naked, Adam and Eve, and felt no shame. But now nowhere in the next part of the story does God awaken Adam or his helpmate, Eve. This leads me to believe that this part of the story of creation is like a dream. What do we know of dreams on earth? As all things on earth are similar to things in heavenly places, as in the law of correspondence, our Second law, as Jesus taught us to pray all things on earth as it is in heaven. Let's look at the metaphor of a dream. We all have them, sometimes nightly. Sometimes some of the dreams are so scary as a matter of fact. I want to wake up where I thought I was dying, confronted by monsters and demons. However, when I actually do wake up from the dream, after a moment or two, I realize that what seemed so real just seconds before was not actually reality at all. If someone had taken my temperature or checked my physical heart during that dream, they would have definitely noticed me physically reacting. Myself acting as if it was and confronted by the same demons and scary things that were in the dream. Sometimes I'm told by people who've tested dreams, that someone can believe that they're freezing and their actual temperature will be very, very cold. So dreams are very much another reality. Sometimes, in fact, we have amazing dreams. I have awoken laughing hysterically. I felt like I was flying in dreams. I've been spoken to by angelic beings. Because these dreams don't manifest as negative, are they any less unreal as the scary dreams? Or are they both real? Another paradox. When we go back to scriptures, God uses dreams all the time to awaken the human consciousness of people like Mary, the mother of Jesus, Joseph, the father of Jesus, prophets, apostles alike. So what is this thing called dream? Are some dreams real and some dreams just a result of our subconscious speaking from our past thoughts and circumstances? This takes me to today. On my spiritual walk, I asked the Holy Spirit to share with me what dreams are. And this is what I heard. Dreams are metaphoric, first of all. When you leave this density of the earth and die, you will feel as if you have awakened from a dream, just as you do every morning. That's what the Holy Spirit said to me. And I responded, as I often do, because it's a conversation, I believe, with God through this being of this third part of the Trinity, the Holy Spirit, that is kind of taking what is the highest density and bringing it to a place of my density so that I can understand it. I responded, okay, but are we in a dream within a dream? And I'll have to explain that question to you. I believe that I've come into this earth density from another higher density. And it was my choice. I came to teach the people on earth, to help them like a father teaches a child. I realized this somewhere maybe in my 30s, late 20s. So when I think of me releasing from this body in death, I also have to think of what my spirit had to do to go from its higher density to fall asleep again and enter into this communal dream with humanity. I hope you're with me on this. If you've ever wondered why you've heard that when a spirit enters into a baby's body, it loses its memory of all it was in spirit, that's kind of, I guess, what I went through or feel like I've gone through. And then as I moved through my life, I began to awaken to my spiritual self once again and to my destiny here on this earth. So if you die on the earth to awaken to a new reality, is that new reality also another dream, but a dream that is closer to perfect God vibration, perfect love? There's something called opacity when you're using graphics design, and opacity can take an image, and when you turn the opacity down, the image becomes almost translucent. This is kind of the image that I got in my head, that every time we wake up from another higher dream, a higher density, the opacity becomes less dense and we become closer to God. Because I know that there seems to be more than just one density above humanity. Some will call this density, this next density, a psychic density, where people who delve into divination and listening to other spirits can hear from departed spirits and can talk to other spirits, some positive, yet some are negative. Some speak of there being 8 densities that we know of, like the 7 colors in the rainbow, then the perfect light being the 8th density. Again, looking toward the law of correspondence for answers. All being said, I ask the question of the paradox. Why would a perfect God create a son only for that son to die? The answer is what took me to the Garden of Eden and the sleep of Adam. In that sleep, I believe that is when humanity entered into a dream that we all participate in together, but that is governed by the perfect laws of God. And this dream, or these dreams that we are in, are like schools helping us become more like God or more godly, to create like God, to act like God, to have the compassion of God, and most importantly, to love like God. So if we embrace this thought, we can embrace the law of paradox. Each dream, each life, each existence of our mental being brings us closer to our evolution. And what is the culmination of the evolution of humanity but oneness with our Creator, with God? I hope this gives you something to think about today, and God bless you. If you have any prayers, please put them in the comments. I'll be happy to say a prayer for you. Bo Sebastian, the author of Zeroing Out, The Secret Journey to the Meditative Mind.
Life can get really busy taking care of my home, 2 careers, and my family, when your mind can't seem to get quiet to rest. That's when you need to use zeroing out.
I never thought I could quiet my mind in only 3 minutes. Zeroing out works.
I highly recommend Zeroing Out by Bo Sebastian. It's been very helpful for me, and it's helped me navigate through difficult times. It's just a great book. Everyone should get it.
I tried the zeroing out technique, and I have to say it was surprisingly effective and very simple. On those days I'm going 90 to nothing and I just need to slow my brain down for a minute to get back on track. This really has helped me to do that.
Life gets hectic, and sometimes I just don't take the time to clear my mind, especially right after work. The zeroing out method helps me to leave my work at work, so I have a clear mind for the people at home I love.
I've been dealing with clutter in my mind for a long time now. Zeroing out, stop stress in 3 minutes, has completely cured me. Now I can meditate, get quiet, and I'm even sleeping better.
I can't believe how much zeroing out has helped me reduce stress. You've got to try it.
Work for me can get time-consuming and stressful at times, but zeroing out has really changed the way I look at my schedule and my time. Now I can leave my work at work, and I have more time and peace of mind to deal with the people that I care the most about.
Such a step above any other book I've ever seen about this topic, and it's such a simple technique, and I'm able to do it by myself, which I love. So I highly recommend it.